take it. Twenty seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
And just when you thought was safe, it is absolutely, positively not. And good evening to you. Welcome again to Still the most controversial, the hardest hitting, the most informative, the rawest television talk show anywhere in America. They'll move this one around for me just a little bit. I ain't even in it on the YouTube. Thanks to all of you who are coming in by various forms of social media. Very interesting program that I'm going to deal with this evening, something that is somewhat personal to me. And I've also got a longtime friend of mine who has basically almost went through the very same thing that I went through about a year ago. We're going to be talking tonight about in Memphis, Tennessee, you can drink and drive and nothing happens. You can kill individuals in this city being a drunk and nothing happens. We're going to have to cut these off. We'll have to cut them off. We'll have to cut those fans off. I want to do, like I said, most of you know that my son one of my sons rather, was murdered last year by a guy by the name of Melvin Willies, who had been convicted of DUI in several other states. So when you get convicted in one state, he moved to another state. When he get convicted of being a drunk driver in that state, he would move to another state. He's from Memphis, lives down in the Westwood area. And on June 15th of last year, my son, Kenya Matthews, was on a bicycle. And this idiot, 62 years old at the time, had just left a club in Westwood and he was pissy, sloppy, drunk. He ran into my son, who was on a bicycle. Ran into my son, 34 years old, ran into him. The impact was so hard that he died on the scene. It broke his neck. But the gruesome thing about it was that Melvin Willies had just been convicted several months earlier. He was arrested on a DUI and the District Attorney General's office reduced the charges. And in the reduction of the charges, Judge Stan ordered that he would have a interlock on his vehicle. Interlock. The interlock is that device that is placed on a vehicle that you breathe into. And if the alcohol levels are above the legal limits, then your car will not start. Shelby County government was negligent in its duties. This was 2-3 months later, and he was on probation, not through a private probation company, but through the county of Shelby, and Shelby County had not required that the interlock be placed on the car, so he was loose driving in the street the night that he murdered my son. Family members got him out on bond. And then, and I got the whole file, I haven't had a chance to go through and pull out exactly the things I want. But the beginning of this year, we went back into court because they have a program, a scram system. With the scram is a device that is placed around your ankles, where if you drink again, and he was ordered not to drink, which was one of the terms of his bond. If you drink, it will show up on this instrument. Well, Christmas came, and I guess he just couldn't do without a drink. On two occasions, he violated, drunk again. They arrested him, had a bond hearing, and he's loose again on the streets of Memphis. Melvin Willis of 4577 Deer Trail Cove in the Westwood area is a murderer, convicted in several other states of being a drunk, convicted of DUI in other states, but yet here in Shelby County, here's a guy who had been arrested numerous times for DUI. And every time that he was arrested in Shelby County, his charges were reduced to a lesser charge. Well, he's in jail for vehicular, well, he's not in jail, he's being charged with vehicular homicide, and I go to court every time he goes, every time. He's got an attorney who's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I went to, when he was indicted, I went to his hearing. And when he gave the original attorney name, the attorney's name was Joseph Osmond. When I heard that name, and I want him and his family to know that it was I that called Joseph Osmond, who has been a friend of mine for 15, 20 years. I called him, I said, Joe, how are you representing the guy that killed my son? He said, man, I did not know this was your son. When they came into the office, they did not mention your name. He said, but I'm going to get off of the case, and I'll just let one of my guys in the office handle the case. And from what I saw last week, this got to be one of the guys that probably just got out of the law school, because he was asking the prosecution what he was supposed to do, and they was looking at him and laughing at him and saying, but that's to my particular advantage. But we're going to talk about that. And I've got a friend here tonight who's a former attorney in Shelby County. Long time friend of mine, and I you know, I ain't got a few. And I count this man as one of the few. Former attorney Jay Bailey is here tonight. And we're going to tell you, and he's going to tell you what recently, has it been a month now, Jay? It's been a month that his son, on his way to play, was this his first year in college? Second year in college, football player. On his way, getting ready to go back to college, go back to school. stops to help a friend, not far from my church, in fact, and helping his friend boost his car, and he's standing in the front of the car, in between two cars. This guy was drunk, comes over a hill, speeding, runs into the back of one of these vehicles. The impact was so detrimental that it severed the leg of Jabari Bailey. We're going to talk with his father tonight on the show. And I just got to figure out, and I want to figure out, how is it that the District Attorney General's office can reduce charges on drunk drivers? We're going to talk about that tonight. Also, I did finally talk to Justin, I'm going to call him Justin Bailey, Justin Ford. I did talk to him, and he was cocky as always. And remember the conversation last week was, how are you going to run against your uncle for a city council seat? And he lost his bid for the Senate because he didn't run. He didn't campaign. He didn't do the things that politicians have to do to win an office. He says he's going to run for either that seat or he's going to run for the seat that Janice Fulilove is going to have to give up. But from what I hear, Cheyenne Johnson is going to be the candidate in that particular office. Also, and I just keep y'all up with the latest stuff I get on politics that's going on in Memphis. I'm real concerned about this instant runoff vote. As I told you, it is detrimental to the black vote especially, but it is detrimental to all citizens in this community when we eliminate the one man, one vote process, and your vote can be moved around and shifted and shuffled to whoever they want to give it to. There is a push for Edmund Ford Jr., Bill Morrison, and Janice Fulilove to resign before the 90 days. We know that, and this is coming from Steve Morroy and his particular group of individuals who want instant runoff voting, which will be on the ballot in November. But we're saying yes, we want it repealed, and I'm going to be doing a lot of shows on that. The rumor also is, and I think that Janice needs to speak, that Janice has already been paid off. The first number I heard was $300. Now I'm hearing a much larger figure, and that Janice Fulilove has cut a commercial for the instant runoff voting, and that she's been told, now that she's been elected as the juvenile court clerk, that the person that she used to make her deputy is a person by the name of Matt Coon. Well, we're going to see exactly how the politics in this community plays out. And I want to think that the things that I'm hearing, even from some of her handlers, like the Grant brothers, who did tell me, in fact, that she took some money from Steve Morroy to support instant runoff voting. And Greg Grant and Alonzo Grant have been her handlers politically for quite a while. And they're upset with her because they say she took some money to betray black folk and to betray the vote. I'm hoping that all of that is wrong. But if she resigns before the 90 days that is covered by the city charter, if she shows up in a commercial, if Matt Coon is selected as her deputy, well, the proof will be in the pudding. All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and then when I come back, Jay Bailey is going to be my guest. We're going to talk about what happened with his son, the laws on drinking and driving in this state, and why is it that the District Attorney General office cuts deals and allow murderers back on the street. We'll talk about it after these commercial messages. Woo! Huh?
So you still on 31 and on your YouTube channel?
I'm on my YouTube channel, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook.
Can I go on your site and share it tonight?
Yeah. Am I coming to Detroit for Aretha's homegoing? Nope. I plan to be in Detroit to speak in October. Once the venue is found. The service is private for Aretha. There's going to be a visitation for 2 days at the Black Museum. Come on, Jay. Yeah.
Makeup artist or?
No, you.
Not today.
Little Brett Thompson was up there, he had a makeup artist.
Brenton helped me get some candidates.
Really?
Yeah. They're having a meeting tonight. Dewan South Mitchell's having a dinner tonight for former council people.
What's that about?
Well, I'm gonna find out tomorrow what it's about.
Okay. You mean, Will?
You know, she's got an organization, Kingmakers.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's the name of her strategy team.
Do I need to hold this or is it gonna pick me up?
No, you're gonna be hold it.
Hold.
You'll see
You-
once you start talking, it's just a little.
Doesn't have a shortage in it.
Oh.
Okay.
You wanna check it?
Check 1, 2, 2. Still not getting it.
You gone?
Catch your
1,
mic.
2. 1, 2, 2, 2.
Are you getting it?
Nope, okay, here we go.
1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Need it for you.
All right, now let's try it. 1, 2. Am I picking up? Yeah, there you go.
But
1, 2, 2.
is that the one mic, or is it the cord?
Those are only, it's the cord.
Check 1, 2.
There you go.
I understand.
Well, I understand.
1, 2, 2, 2. I see where
Okay.
the short is.
Okay, thank you.
I don't want to be on TV hitting me.
1, 2, 2, 2.
I cut it off.
Oh, you cut it off. Don't do that. I can't tell you when.
I cut it off because they can hear you doing the commercial.
Oh. Yeah, you said something. Who was that? The cussing police? The 2 cussing police.
Somebody said it first. Somebody asked me to cuss you first.
I Are you seeing? You know, like.
One more commercial.
Okay. Uh, All right, those of you that's watching, we're in commercial break on social medias.
1 minute.
What was it about? 20?
$45 seconds. $30 seconds. $20 seconds. $10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome back to the Thaddeus Matthews Show. Thank you so very much for being here with me on the show tonight. My guest is former attorney Jay Bailey. Turn this one down. Jessa has attorney Jay Bailey is my guest. And let's make sure that Jay's mic is working. Jay, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Are you hearing it in this? Go.
Yep.
Dale, go on now and listen from me. You can't hear?
1, 2, 2, 2.
Be on, we together. Lock it up.
Well, you shouldn't have to do that. Should can this mic over here? You know where that is on the board? Let's bring that mic around so he is talking that mic, since there's a shortage in that particular cord. Just
1, 2, well,
it ain't gonna keep working.
okay. But in any event, good evening, brother.
Hey, man, good to see you, man.
Been a while.
It has, since we did this, it has been a while. Your son, and we've been friends over the years, and you always talk about how proud you were of Jabari.
Right.
And Jabari was in what school?
Tuskegee.
Tuskegee Institute.
Right.
On an athletic scholarship?
On athletic and academic scholarship.
Okay.
Good athlete, played here at East High School, played at Bellevue. I like to tell everybody that my wife and I, since he was in the 6th grade, never missed a game.
Okay.
Never missed a game. It could be freezing cold and raining outside. And if it wasn't nobody in those stands but the two of us,
Okay.
we never missed a game.
Okay.
And then as a dad, as he was getting close to graduating and signing day was coming, he and I hit the road, you know.
Right.
And I spent countless hours on the phone with coaches, on the internet with the recruiting services, you know, working on my son's, working on Jabari's recruitment by the various schools that were interested in him, right?
Okay.
It's a lot that goes into that.
Okay.
High school sports and college sports are just like pro sports nowadays.
Okay.
They started recruiting them at the 9th grade. And you got kids that move all over the country just to come play for a certain school. Okay. And so Jabari was one of those kids that was being sought out.
Okay.
And so here he is at the prime of his life, realizing and enjoying his dream, something he worked hard for.
20 years old.
20 years old. Wouldn't be 20, won't be 21 until January.
Okay.
And out of nowhere, a guy by the name of Frank Smith,
Okay.
that lives over in Frazier, on Coral Road, plows into the back of the car that Jabari is standing in front of.
Okay.
He, according to my measurements and my calculations, and we'll talk about that a little later, he hit that car at no less than 65 miles an hour. And there are ways to determine that.
Okay.
There were no skid marks, which means he never hit brakes. All the cars, all 3 vehicles were white. It was broad daylight, 9 o'clock in the morning, okay? So there's nothing, and a few days later I went out to the scene so that I could measure that scene. I had 26 years worth of experience doing crime scenes and accident reconstruction. I know a little something about it.
Okay.
And there was a quarter-mile unobstructed view, a quarter-mile unobstructed view. And to prove my point, I stood in the middle of the street, in behind my escalator, with the lights blinking, and I stood there for close to 30 minutes. At least 100 cars came by. That's what I was counting them, just trying to get an average. Okay? And to the car, every single driver got over with a good 100 yards to spare.
Okay.
All right? Why? Because it was the same time in the morning. Okay? Just recreating the conditions. That tells me that either this guy was impaired or he was totally distracted. Okay? Either way, it's the same thing. But when you take a look at his history, there's no question he was impaired. The guy's had 4 or 5 prior DUIs. He was a habitual motor vehicle offender twice, convicted of driving while habitual motor vehicle offender 3 times. His rap sheet is 37 pages long, and they set his bond to $100.
Wait a minute, Jay. They said it's bond at what?
$100. $100.
What was the charge?
Failure to yield, failure to keep a safe lookout, which are traffic offenses. They could have just given him a traffic ticket and let it go. I'd rather they had done that because they offended me by giving him a $100 bond.
They gave him a $100 bond. Failure to maintain a safe lookout. Did they even take him to jail?
No. What happened was, they took him to jail later. So the guys had enough DUIs so he knew how to handle the system. Okay?
Okay.
So after the accident, he crawls out of his vehicle and pretends, and I said pretend because the hospital doesn't indicate that he had any injuries.
Okay.
But this guy crawls out of his vehicle and pretends to have a head injury. If you have a head injury, they're not going to do a field sobriety test out there on the scene.
Okay.
He knew that.
Okay.
He had so many DUIs, he knew how to work the system. So they take him straight to
So
Memphis.
and that's the important part. So if you say that you've had a head injury,
That's right.
or if you have had a
A
head
head
injury,
injury.
there is no field sobriety.
There's no field sobriety.
What about breathing into,
It's not gonna be anything. They're gonna immediately take you to the hospital.
okay,
And I can understand that.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
Okay.
because you could have a head injury, have a concussion, or have swelling of the brain, not even know it.
Mhm.
And a few minutes later, you'd be dead.
okay,
Okay? And so, he played the system, all right? So I get a call, and I won't take long, but I'll just tell you this because this is important. I get a call, I'm downtown, actually at City Hall. I get a call, from my wife who says, somebody called and said they rushed your daughter to the hospital. She says, I'm on my way, can you get there? Immediately, I turn around in the middle of the street, and I head straight there. Okay? When I get there, I discover how bad the injury is. His leg was literally cut off on the street. He was amputated out on the street. He ends up having 3 subsequent surgeries, staying in ICU for almost 2 weeks, then spending another week or 2 at the in the rehab unit. Right? He's home now, and he's getting stronger every day. But listen to this: while we were in the hospital, a police officer comes to visit me, visit my wife and I, and he says that they investigated the scene. It was just an accident. It was just a terrible accident. Now, he couldn't look me in the eye. And that was a problem for me.
okay,
And I'm wondering if it was just an accident, why don't you give me a little more information?
okay.
What kind of investigation did you guys do? I'm waiting for him to tell me that they drew blood at the hospital, or that he never once mentioned the guy's record. He never once mentioned the guy's driving history, right? I would have told him right then, well, whoa, partner, I need somebody else to take a look at that. Matter of fact, I'd pick up that phone and call one of those AGs down there. Okay? But in fact, what they did was, they charged him that same day with 2 very minor traffic offenses, and the judicial commissioner set his bond at $100. The very next day, they got his out back. And I've seen him driving ever since. In fact, in his last court appearance, he drove. Now, how does he get a good driver's license? He's got a driver's license.
Okay.
It's impossible for a guy like that to get insurance. There's no insurance. He's had 4 accidents going back to 2010. Every one of those have had, no, I'm sorry, going back to 2004. And every one of those have had injuries involved, okay?
Okay.
There's no insurance company on the planet that's gonna get this guy insurance. He's a risk. Got all these DUIs, he had just finished on probation, and in fact, told the police that he was headed to an AA meeting.
Headed to what?
An AA meeting.
Okay.
Right? Now, with all that said, 2 years ago, a young lady who's a friend of my family's, who's an RN, never been in trouble in her life. I think you may remember this. Her name was Sandra Docker.
Okay.
Drops something in her car, reaches down to pick it up, has an accident because she lost sight of the vehicle in front of her. There was some minor injuries to the people in this vehicle she hit. She was charged with aggravated assault, a Class C felony, because they said she was a distracted driver. This guy has a record so long, you gotta have a master's degree to read it. And he's got an unobstructed view for a quarter mile, and he's driving at more than 65 miles an hour. And the reason we know he's driving more than 65 miles an hour is because he knocked my son's car 43 feet. He knocked a, 1,700 pound car, 43 feet into the woods. Car that was in the gate.
Remember, this also happened, what was the guy's name? The guy that used to be over, the Republican Party. The Giannini.
Bill Giannini.
Right. Same thing happened with him. Distracted, ran into someone and killed him.
Sure did.
And nothing happens. Okay? So, Jay, when we look at these cases and we see folk getting off, the AG's office not making the proper charges, what's the cost behind it?
Well, let's start with the police department first.
Okay.
Okay? So the AG, always remember that attorney generals are lawyers,
Mm-hmm.
which means 99.9% of the time, they're going off what's in the file. They didn't see it. They didn't go out and investigate it themselves, right? So the first responders and the investigators that come on the scene after the first responders, that is where it begins. It's
Okay.
how they treat the case that's going to determine how the Attorney General's office treats the case.
Mhm.
Now, normally, I ain't got no problem telling you if I think the Attorney General wrong,
Mhm.
okay? But in this particular case, it was the officer on the street that suggested those charges, all right? Now, the question becomes, what gave him that kind of authority to not, he's got a computer in his car. He can pull up that man's record. He saw that record. If he didn't see that record, he'll be fired today,
Mhm.
right? I got it within 24 hours, so he could get it,
Mhm.
okay? What possessed an experienced, veteran police officer to put a traffic offense, on a case like this?
Did a sergeant or a captain go to the scene?
There was a sergeant, and the guy that I'm talking about is a sergeant. I do not know if a lieutenant or captain went to say.
Okay.
Now, I don't think they have captains anymore, so it would have been a lieutenant or a major.
Yeah, okay, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and so, I'm not sure, who else made the scene, you understand? What I do know is that for 4 days straight, I asked for permission to go and look at the car.
Okay,
And I couldn't get anybody to give me permission to go look at the car, because we hold on.
okay.
But, I mean, that's neither here nor there, you can go look at those videos, you go get your stuff out of it, right?
Okay.
When I finally went to look at it, that car took such a blow, the cars took such a blow, that the tire, Mr. Frank Smith was driving a pickup truck,
Okay.
and the car he hit it so hard that it shot the tire out the trunk, through the back seat into the front seat, the spare tire. That's how hard he hit that car. And yet that officer, seeing that, thought this case deserved to be a traffic offense.
Have you seen an investigative report?
Yes,
So the officer has an investigative report?
he treated it like any other accident, so just did a regular old accident.
There was no measurements or anything done?
There were, now that's funny that you mentioned that. There were measurements out there on the ground, which is how I was able to go measure.
Okay.
But when you read the accident report, there's no mention of the speed,
Okay.
no skid marks. These are very important issues, right?
Uh-huh.
There's no mention of the fact that, the distance in which it knocked the third car, away from the scene.
Mhm.
Those, and the reason those things are important to any criminal investigator, is because that's going to determine how fast he was going. If that man was going that fast at 9 o'clock in the morning, and he had that kind of unobstructed view, I say he was high, he was drunk. With his history, I would suggest to you there's very few jurors that would agree with me.
Well, you know, when I go back, Jay, and I look at when my son was killed last year, and I read the affidavit of report. Further, applicant makes oath that the essential facts constituting said offenses, the source of applicant's information and the reason why the applicant's information is believable concerning said facts are as follows. Based on reasonable grounds that the defendant was operating or in physical control of a motor vehicle while under the influence of intoxicants or drugs producing stimulating effects on the central nervous system, or the alcohol concentration in the defendant's blood or breath is 0.08% or more, the defendant was placed under arrest in Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee on 29, 2016, and having been advised by the Memphis Police Department, DUI officer A. Craig, I've given them all that,
Yes.
of the consequences for refusing to submit to the test, the defendant was requested to submit to test for the purpose of determining the alcohol and or drug content of the defendant's blood, and the defendant did refuse to submit to the BAC breath test. Due to the defendant's refusal, the applicant has probable cause to believe the defendant is in violation of the Tennessee Compliant Consent Statute against the annotated code. This offense was committed in Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee. Originally, he's charged with a DUI, okay? When it gets to the court, instead of it being charged as the DUI, here's a guy who has been convicted in 3 other states, okay? 3 other states of being not only a habitual motor offender, but he's been convicted on DUIs in 3 other states. He's been arrested at least 4 to 5 times in Shelby County on DUI. When it gets to court, you know what the charge is?
What is that?
Reckless driving. Okay? They reduced the charge from DUI to reckless driving. When my son was killed, my son was on a bicycle.
Yeah, I remember.
And the reason he was on a bicycle, he had a warrant for his arrest for tickets. He was going to turn himself in, and he had told his mother that I would just ride this bicycle, I don't want to get caught driving. This guy is coming from a club down People's Road. I can't think of the name of the club right now, do you? Can you think of it? They used to advertise it, in fact. He was stone drunk. He was speeding, trying to get home. He hits my son with no skid marks, no brakes, hits him so hard that it knocks him up on the curb. When I go to the funeral home, and being around dead for all these years, there were some things I just knew. And I talked to the embalmer. His neck was broken, okay? The police investigator told me that when they got there, the guy couldn't even stand up. He was so drunk. Now, I go back. This is his order of probation. They got all of this, what he's supposed to do.
And this order of probation was this one, this case.
This case. And part of the case was to install the interlock on that.
To me, that's useless.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. So interlock simply says that before I can get in the car, before I can start the car, I gotta either blow in this machine. Some of them have a sensor where I can put my hand on it, and it measures the blood alcohol level. But what if I'm getting high and not getting drunk? Follow me?
Okay.
Or what if I'm taking pills? That doesn't help. Or what if I simply go get in another car and drive?
Okay.
The guy goes and gets in the girlfriend's car, drives that, a mom's car, a grandma's car. So how does the interlock stop a dangerous driver from being on the street?
It doesn't. But in this case, he's in the same car. Okay. You've got a court order signed by a judge that says you still have it on the car.
And there wasn't on
What's on the car? Okay. So naturally, you know what I'm doing. As the county is concerned. But my issue, Jay, is the fact that our county does not take these type of situations seriously. You know, I talked to you a few days after your son's accident, because I wasn't gonna call you right away. You were furious.
Yeah, I'm still furious.
Still
Obviously.
furious. Yeah. But knowing you and knowing your history, knowing what you're capable of, I guess that was the concern. Jay, don't go get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, you know that goes through your father.
Yeah.
That's gonna go through any father's head, any mother's head, any parent, right? And let me tell you, I
Hold
went
that a
to
little bit closer. Too.
Okay, sorry about that. I went to the guy's house. And
Okay.
I started to go knock on the door.
Okay.
But I thought about it and I said, even if nothing happens, when I leave here, they'll say something.
Okay.
So I left, but when I
I did the
left.
same thing though.
Yeah. I mean, it's your natural instinct.
I did the same thing. I went and found his house, went to the house, and there was things that I wanted to do or things that I wanted to have done. And I said, and I went in my expedition
Yes, sir.
with my picture all over it. Okay?
Well, you know what you
Yeah, you're right. I done drove up in the media vehicle, my picture, my name all over the expedition. And my mind told me, leave here.
Yeah.
Okay? Because, right, if you don't do nothing, and hell, I can't sneeze hard, the police won't be looking for me. Okay,
Yeah.
so I do, but, and it takes, even when I go to the court hearings, and I see them walk in court, it takes a lot not to break his little puny ass into it.
Okay, I went to the court hearing with this fellow too. And, I wasn't mad at the judge. The judge did what he was supposed to do, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Prosecutor tried to increase the bond.
Okay.
But they were trying to increase the bond without increasing the charges.
Okay.
And Judge Montesi, who is a fair man,
Okay.
Judge Montesi said, well, if y'all had a month, y'all gonna increase the charges. Y'all should. So I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay.
Then he had me stand up. I'm not one of the litigants. I'm not an audience. And I stood up and he said, Mr. Bailey, I just wanna make sure you understand that I'm not increasing these charges, the bond. Because with the charges that are there right now, I don't have to, there's no reason to increase the man's bond.
Okay.
I can't get mad at that judge.
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
I blame the people who mishandled the case from the beginning. This case was mishandled, let me tell you what's going to happen.
Okay.
Either they're going to increase these charges,
Hold on a little bit closer.
they're going to either increase these charges, or I'm going to put him on trial on the street. I'm going to go get 200-300 of those big 4x4 yard signs that you see all over town doing these campaigns. I'm going to put his picture on it, and it's going to say, dangerous man in our neighborhood. And I'm going to put it all over his neighborhood, all over Fraser and Rock. And I'm going to draw him out.
Okay.
Until such time, I'm going to exercise my First Amendment right. Until such time as somebody does something about it.
Jay, has the man even called you?
No, he didn't reach out to me, and it's funny you mentioned that, because I told my wife, I said, it would have still been hurtful what he did, but if he had at least tried to show some remorse, maybe I could be a bigger man, okay? But this fellow lawyered up within 24 hours. Within 20, when he showed up at his arraignment, he had a lawyer.
Okay.
Okay? He also drove them.
Okay.
Okay? Now I'm telling you what I know, not what I think.
Okay.
He drove to the hearing. Now he can't have insurance.
Okay.
Not now for sure.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
He's got a pending crash with critical injuries. What insurance company giving him insurance? Right? But he still got a good license. So he is driving around the streets of Memphis and Shelby County, can't pay attention if he run over you, right? And yet, with that kind of driving history, nobody's doing anything about it.
My guess is former attorney Jay Bailey, now into real estate and other things. And we're talking about the tragedy of his son. We're talking about the murder of my son by this character by the name of Melvin Willies, who again lives what's the address? Down there on Deer Trail. 4577 Deer Trail Cove. He lives down there. He's out now on, I think it's, is it 50,000? What, there was it,
Yes.
they increased it. But Jay, you know, the thing that really pissed me off, and I've got to say that the DA's office has been talking with them. And I guess because when I can give them the attention that I can give them, I guess they will.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous to me that he was a guy, and I thought that his bond should have been revoked. When it's Christmas time, you're walking around, you're already out for killing a man, and you've got the scram system on. Not once did you violate, but you violated twice. Okay, you violated twice. Confirmed drinking events twice. Your meter shows up that you got wrapped around your leg that you have been drinking twice.
Wow.
And when you go into court, they arrested him. And they gave him another bond. Somebody signed for the bond. His family signed for the bond. And he's back out on the streets. And Melvin Willis, and I hadn't thought about that yard sign thing. I'm gonna have to go get some yard signs.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
He's a danger. He's been drinking all his life. He's 62 years old. He had drinking offenses while in the military. He's a drunk. He's driving the city of Memphis. Now he's driving around and he can't keep from drinking. He cannot keep from drinking. And who else is he going to kill next?
I don't care if you drink, you need to drink at all. Well, but putting him behind a dangerous weapon, because a car is a dangerous
Yes,
weapon in the hands
yes.
of a drunk.
Yes.
You might as well put a machine gun in his hand and put him in a crowd drunk. That's the danger. It's the same danger level.
Montville 32, you gone, brother. Thank you. Okay. But the laws, and we'll do, I'm gonna take a commercial break and we'll come back and talk about it. Are the laws for DUI offenders, are they strong enough? We'll be back after these commercial messages.
It's a good question.
Dust off your gloves and get ready to play golf.
Let's see Instagram who needs to go.
Brotherton Golf Tournament Friday, August 11th.
I had to bust out from the friend, she popped up on her.
Who?
The little girl that thought she was gonna buy the appliances and she was gonna call and all that.
Did you-
I
did you-
used a good liar, you might as well be blocked.
What did she say?
What?
I know who did it for that one. That was not one of mine. That was one of the ones she did it herself. Dirty Diamond, you gone.
Cut those off while they say it's
Yeah, I can, yeah. You know, some things I'll tolerate. trying to do these serious topics. These numbers dropped on me. Sorry.
I took a couple of, I just came to hear you cuss. I said, well, if you did cuss, you got to bring this cuss from the guy.
All right, we are in the commercial break here on TV. So y'all just hold on.
That's a good thing.
Huh? That's
Let nobody tell you that's not the best thing.
huh?
Say somebody like that, that's gonna be good.
You haven't seen that commercial?
I've seen it. I just realized that's what it was. What's the movie that was?
It's still there.
It was always on the mark.
It's on. This is about 2 years old. It used to be a church one time. It was a bank way back in the day.
Right, on the corner by the wall, old wall being
Yeah,
in the V.
yeah.
Last commercial.
All right.
One minute. Forty-five seconds. Thirty seconds. Twenty seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
And welcome back. And again, my guest is J. Bailey, Javier Bailey. And we're talking about in Memphis, you can drink, drive, nothing happen, or charges be reduced. Jay, as a former defense attorney, when we look at these type of charges being reduced, in the case of, like my son's charges, reduced, of the gentleman killing charges rather, reduced to reckless driving. the guy that has, not killed his son, but took a portion of his life with him.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mainly,
Mainly,
yeah.
yeah. Guy who had a promising football career. First question, really, cannot the state up the charges?
The prosecutor's office certainly can, they can increase the charges, and I'm not telling you that they're not going to.
Okay.
I must say that.
Okay.
Okay? They might very well do that. They say that they're looking at it.
Okay.
All right? Now, they can take the case to the grand jury, and in taking it to the grand jury, it doesn't matter what you got charged with in general sessions. They can ask for greater charges at the grand jury level.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm hopeful and I'm prayerful that that's what they're gonna do. Because if that's not what they do, then I'm gonna do my thing.
Okay.
You know, and that's not a threat. I'm just telling you that as a citizen in this community,
Mhm.
let's put it like this. If you and I had been fathers in Collierville,
Okay.
and some black driver came riding through Collierville and ran over a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the driving record that this guy had, with the driving record that the guy that killed your son had,
Mm-hmm.
they would have thrown, he would have had $1 million bond starting in Collierville.
Right.
There's no way he would have walked out of there with $100 bond or probation.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So I look at it like that. So if they're not going to show the same value of life
Mm-hmm.
on the people who were in Frazier and Raleigh, then I'm gonna take it and do it myself.
What can you do though, Jay? What?
Well, see, we're not helpless as citizens.
Mhm.
The same way I went and researched this guy's history, I got a copy of his driving record. The police could have did the same thing. The same way that Mothers Against Drunk Drivers used to put people's faces all over the place. Right?
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay.
But you cannot walk in a Exxon or a Shell station anywhere in this town and not see Busted magazine with a picture of everybody who got arrested plastered all over the place. Right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna plaster this guy's face all over the place. I'm gonna tell everybody who will listen that this guy took the dreams and the hopes of a young man, and there's no telling how many other people he's hurt. You know, like I said before, with all that record he's got, you know, it's just no telling how many he's hurt. So I'm gonna put it out there so that they don't put it out there.
Jabari is 20 years old, and this has happened to him. What's this? Have y'all had that father-son conversation of where do we go from here?
Yeah, I must say that and I'm not just saying it because he's my kid. This kid is, I call him a kid, but you know, my son is
Sure.
he's my hero.
Okay.
You know, I am totally distraught in that hospital.
Mm-hmm.
He wakes up from surgery and realizes, the first time he realizes, my leg is gone. Okay?
Okay.
So he's angry for about a couple of hours, 2 to 4 hours. But after that, he's telling us, well, ain't no use of me looking back. I'm looking forward. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do from here.
Okay.
You know, like Jesus Christ, who created this monster?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it dawned on me.
Uh-huh.
This is the kid who I just told you, from a young age, he got up, he ran, he lifted weights, he pushed through. And I'm drilling into him the whole time. Man, can't nobody take nothing from you. Don't let nobody take anything from you. You go get it. Right? And so that is now being manifested in his behavior and his attitude now. You
Okay.
understand?
Okay.
And I love it because it has made this whole episode so much better. Let me say this on a lighter note.
Okay.
USA Today picked up the story. A couple of news stations out of Birmingham and Montgomery and some other cities picked up the story. South Carolina was a station in South Carolina. We have a GoFundMe page, but besides the GoFundMe page, we've been receiving cards and calls. Yesterday, that is, a package arrives at my home. It's a jersey, a high school jersey out of North Carolina,
Okay.
somewhere near Charlotte.
Okay,
And it was Jabari's high school number when he played here in Memphis.
okay,
And there's this long letter in there that talks about how the way he handled himself has inspired the members of that team, and they're retiring that number at that school.
okay,
They've never met him before.
okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So it's been that's been a wonderful, that has helped us get over the hump, right?
Mhm.
But where's the state of Tennessee? Like you just said, where's Shelby County? Where's the city of Memphis? You know, I did receive calls from the mayor, several state representatives and so forth. And you get them, I get them. I mean, that's because we're well-known people,
Mhm.
right? But if my name was John Doe, and I was broke, and nobody knew who I was, what chance would this kid have had? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Your son was run over by a drunk driver. Why would they put him that man on probation? Probation is discretionary.
Well, probation, he was already on probation. When he was on probation when he killed my son.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he had just been placed on probation in March of that year.
Mhm.
Okay. And again, he's arrested on DUI.
Right.
The police officer in this case sees that he's drunk. He refuses to take the
This is
BAC.
on the day you get your phone?
No,
This is on the other case.
this is on the other case.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah.
On the other case that he was on probation for, had happened in November of 16. So this happened last year in 17. Goes to court. He's placed, the charge of DUI is reduced to reckless driving.
Okay.
Okay? Reckless driving, he placed on probation with the stipulation signed by Judge Scan that says you got to have this interlock on your car.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm with you.
Now, the state of, well, the county of Shelby had not even seen him.
Mhm.
Okay? You haven't made your visits. I'm on probation. Okay? I have to go, now I'm on that 6, 7, 8 month thing.
Yeah.
Okay? But you still have to, there are certain orders that you have to maintain.
You gotta follow.
You got to follow.
Yeah.
Especially if a judge's signature is on there. He was under probation for Shelby County. So they get him on violation of probation, okay? But then they had to charge him with reckless, vehicular homicide,
Mhm.
okay? The police, in this case, after the fact, because I start calling the traffic unit, and I start demanding certain information,
I did the same thing.
okay? It took, at first I couldn't get his paperwork that I know is public information,
That's right.
okay? I went down there, Mr. Matthews, you can't get it. I said, what the hell you mean I can't get it? It's public information,
That's right.
okay? I said, call ASN, tell him I won't. Still got the shucking and the jiving, and I had to go over across the street. Terry Rowland, Commissioner Terry Rowland, made the calls while I sat in his office. That was the reason I was able to get all of the information on him.
So ask yourself this question on that point.
Okay?
Why would they not release that to you? Release the affidavit of complaint, release the investigative report, release the accident report? What they hide? What's the purpose? I'm not saying they are hiding something, I'm saying to you, why are they refusing to give it to you?
Well, I think one of the things that happened, I showed up in the probation office, Shelby County.
Okay,
Showed up unannounced.
so
And wait a minute,
it's a public office.
I know it's a public office, but I got folks that talking while I was in the office.
I see.
Okay. That is Matthews and all, da 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 da, and you telling me things. You telling me, I didn't even know he had the interlock on it, I knew he was on probation. I heard he had the interlock, I wanted the paperwork. So I met with his probation officer, who quickly got me out of the office. And if Thaddeus Matthews come back and go, again, we can't answer, that's fine. I said, but all of the information in that jacket is public information. You can't keep me from getting that information. Ed Sen did not want to release the information.
I get you.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I went to the commissioner's office. Terry Rowland got in touch with the county attorney. Because I told Terry, I said, my next step is to file an injunction against Shelby County for holding up public information.
That's right.
Okay? I said, and under the Freedom of Information Act, hell, I said, hell, I can just walk in there and get it.
Yeah, well, first of all, anything in the court jacket,
Right.
in the court file, you can walk up to that desk. As long as you pay for your own copies,
Right.
you're entitled to.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
So after that, I finally got a hold to it. By this time, I had retained an attorney, and because they couldn't get the information. I said, no, we gonna get the information. But the issue was, and when I talked with investigators with MPD, this guy was falling down drunk.
And did they test him out there on the street?
I think that they did test it. And his level was so high, it was way over the rim, okay? They did test him, and when they found out whose son he was, they started doing some other things differently,
I see.
okay? And let's just be honest about it. You're a well-known person in the community. There are certain things that are going to happen for you that may not happen for John Q. Silver, may happen for me, but it shouldn't be that way.
Shouldn't be that way,
Okay.
but it is.
It is that way.
It is.
Okay. And because I started getting all these calls from news stations, Thaddeus Matthews' son. And, and I asked one television station, I said, he had a name. Okay?
Yes, sir.
He had, his name was Kenny. You're making it a news story
About you.
about me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thaddeus Matthews' son. And this time, it ain't about me, you ain't got me in nothing wrong. Okay? But if you want to say Kenya Matthews, the son of, fine. But to lead your script off with Thaddeus Matthews' son, no. He was an individual.
But Kenyon Matthews, hit by a drunk driver, don't sell papers. Thaddeus Matthews' son, whose name was Kenyon Matthews, hit by a drunk driver.
We understand that, but when it's you, when it's you, it's just like, hey, it touched you personally.
Absolutely.
And it touched me personally. So when it hits you personally, you don't give a damn about the notoriety.
Don't care about selling no papers, no
No.
advertising.
No.
You really don't care about the news.
No.
Be honest with you.
No.
What I want to see is this man hanging up by his toes. And until such time as that happens, or until such time as there's some level of punishment that equals what he did, right? I'm not going to stop.
Because what he has done is misdemeanor charges, isn't it? Yeah.
Man, there's a lower than misdemeanor. It's traffic offenses. They're misdemeanors, but I'm just saying, to
Yeah.
you, it's the kind of misdemeanor that really.
But you can pay
$100.
$100.
Yeah.
You get $100 bump.
Right. Yet I'm sitting right now with bills totaling over $150,000 that the insurance company hadn't paid. And
Okay.
we got insurance.
Okay.
The insurance company's paid most of it, right?
Okay.
But that's the part we got to pay.
Okay.
I'm sitting here right now trying to pay for a prosthetic leg that's gonna cost a little more than, we thought it was gonna be about $70,000, but it's really gonna be a little closer to $60,000. Okay?
Okay.
But this guy's not driving again. He walks away with nothing once again. This ain't the first time. Again, that's what angers me.
Okay.
You follow me?
Okay.
So I gotta pay for his mistakes. And I don't know how many other people have paid for his mistakes. You follow me? But he went and got himself another car within a week. He was driving the next day, he went and got another car within a week, and drove to court last week. So, you know,
And wouldn't even look at you with it.
no, he knew better than he saw that 280 pounds within a whole reach. He did right.
How could life accept?
Well, you know, we both are having a tough time. We getting through it. But the funny part about it is, let me answer that question this way.
Okay.
We teach our children, I have 4 children. We teach our children to stay away from certain things. Don't go to certain places. You know, you got a future, man. You know, stay away from that. You know? Well, you can't make them, but you do the best you can, man. Right? You know, but man, don't drink and drive. Don't be on no drugs out there. You know, if you're gonna go to a club, then go somewhere where they ain't gonna be shooting and stuff, right? And for the most part, my children have done that. What are the chances? And this is what my wife and I talk about.
Okay.
That this boy right here overachieved, 3-point-something average in college, graduated from high school with honors, star football player in high school, football player in college, NCAA. Right? What are the chances that he would run into Frank Smith? You know what I mean? What devil from hell sent him into my son's pathway?
And your son up early helping a friend.
Helping somebody else. Helping somebody else. He wasn't out there on the street doing anything wrong. He actually on his way back home. He should have been headed back to football camp within like 2 days. And I had asked him to hang around because his great-grandmother's 97th birthday.
Okay.
It was a few days, it was a couple days before that.
Okay.
And so, what are the chances that he would run into this guy with 7, 8 prior felonies, 4 prior DUIs, several accidents causing major injury, 2 or 3 driving while habitual motor vehicle offender, and then just a whole host of other things. You know, what are the chances? You see, so as a father, although I've been told 100 times, man, you need to leave it alone, right? I can't do it.
Okay.
As a father,
But
it's
see,
something to equalize.
somebody who has not been in that road, they walked that path, it's easy for them to tell you to leave it alone.
That's right. That's right.
Because if you've never been there, you don't even understand the hurt, you don't understand the pain, and you don't understand the anger that goes with it.
Well, look at it like this. What if the guy kicked my front door and came walking in my house and decided and said, I'm going to harm one of your children? The law would say I'm right for doing whatever I got to do to stop him.
And you would have did it, right?
He did kick our door in.
Okay.
He kicked the door to our home in. He kicked the door to our lives in.
Okay.
We don't know him. We've done nothing to him.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
And yet, now he's intervened into my family.
Okay.
And he's harmed my youngest child.
Okay.
So, am I not right for doing something?
Of course you're right.
That's right. And you are too.
And you have the right to be angry.
Yeah, you do too.
Oh, yeah.
It's therapy for me.
And I told my attorneys, the money ain't the issue with the county. The issue with the county with me is, why are you allowing people in this county to take people's lives in vehicles? You're allowing them to maim people in this city, and you don't give them the proper charges or the proper punishment.
That's right. Simple as that.
Yeah. And we're not the only ones. We might have the notoriety that goes behind a name. But when these situations come, you don't give a damn about being famous.
That's right. Yeah. Well, your situation, I still have my child. You don't have yours.
Yes.
And I cannot fathom how I would feel had I been in your situation.
Well, it was, and my son and I didn't have maybe the bond that you and yours have. But the pain is no different.
No, it's not good.
When I got the call, I went to the ward. I called his mother called, and we talked about it. I said, don't worry about it. She said, well, we ain't got no insurance. I said, well, wait, don't worry about the insurance. I got this. But it didn't trouble me, man, until I walked into the funeral home. And I went in the back, and there's my son's body laying on the ground.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He had just been embalmed, and I talked to the mortician, and she showed me some scars, and she showed me how his neck had been broke on impact.
Mhm.
Okay. The blessed part about it probably is that he didn't suffer. But he had to be going 60, 70 miles an hour. And again, there was no skid marks, there was no trying to brake, there was nothing but the impact of that vehicle hit my son's body.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you're angry over that. You deal with that. And again, when I see him walk into the courtroom, because I'm gonna be that every time he goes, whatever influence I can use. And again, like I said at the beginning of the program, I called Joseph Austin, Attorney Joseph Austin.
Yeah. I know Joseph.
And when the guy came up for his arraignment and the judge actually approves his attorney, Joe wasn't in there, one of his other attorneys, associates, he said, Joseph Austin. I said, Joseph Austin. So when they walked out, I went and told his associates, you tell Joseph Austin, Thaddeus Matthews said to call. Joe called me. And like, again, I've known Joe over 20-some years. I did his first commercials as a repo man years ago. And I think he had one other horses too. But anyway, so I said, man, how you gonna do this? He said, man, I didn't know. And we've been friends too long for me to represent him.
That's right.
So he said, I think this guy probably just graduated out of law school last week, because it was pitiful. When all the attorneys in the courtroom started laughing at you, and you have to ask them for information on, I said, oh, okay. But this guy's facing 25 to 30 years, and I'm not going, they've got to come to me if they offer him a deal.
That's right.
Okay.
And we should tell these folks out here, that if you are a victim,
Mm-hmm.
or if you have a family member that's a victim of a
Right.
crime,
Right.
we now have, this is a victim's rights state.
Right. Right.
You have the right to tell the prosecutor, the police, and everybody else,
Uh-huh.
I want to be present in every stage of that prosecution. From the bond hearing to the trial, you got a right to be there.
Uh-huh.
And you got a right to be heard.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Uh-huh.
And I'm exercising my right.
Oh, I am too. I'm there every time. In fact, most times I beat him there. One time I thought they was gonna place me, you know how you walk into the courtroom and you sit there, I thought they were gonna place me right next to him.
The big mistake.
But the bailiffs knew me, Mr. Matthews, over here. You know? But when you look at these guys, who are career drunks.
That's what they are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a drunk in the military. You've been convicted in 3 states.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 3 states. Even while you're out on bond, you drink twice. You couldn't let Christmas and New Year's go by. He had to give him a drink. You get arrested. I understand. And the judge, he was in Glenn Wright's court. Glenn Wright's fair. if anybody know he fair, I know he fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Glenn Wright said the only thing that we're here for is not to try the case, but based on the evidence that's presented, as far as this, he increased, he didn't, I think the bond was 50,000, I think they went up another 50,000, okay? And when he said that he was going to be able to make that bond, Judge Wright did tell him, you can use on public defender. Okay? Because if
So
you.
go back to the bond.
Okay.
Let's go back to the bond for a minute. So when Glenn Wright, Judge Wright, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Set that bond, there were two things he had to consider.
This is the second one. I think he did the second one because the first one was in downstate.
Okay.
Okay.
When a judge, period,
Okay.
or a judicial commission sets a bond.
Right.
Under the Tennessee Bail Reform Act, number one, they're looking to ensure that the person will come back to court.